Year one, and welcome to your Fridays. It's the 29th of January, and it is going to be our science lesson today. Okay, now it's the third lesson in our series where we're looking at animals, including humans. Okay, last week, cast your minds back. What group of animals did we look at? Correct. We looked at our lovely mammals. Okay, and if I just flick back, we can see that we know that they are mammals because they've got fur or hair. They have vertebrates. So remember, that's our backbone. Okay, that's what that tricky vertebrate word means. Can you ever go at saying it? Vertebrates. Excellent. It's just a posh word for your backbone. They give birth to live young, unlike birds who lay eggs. They're warm-blooded. Okay, and they feed their young with their milk. Now, remember, we said there are some exceptions, like kind of whales and things like that. Okay, and I asked you to kind of research, see if you can find any other exceptions or see if you can find any other animals that are mammals, which is fantastic. And I'm sure lots of you came up with lovely, beautiful suggestions. Thank you. So today, we're going to be identifying and comparing common birds and reptiles. And again, today's lesson is going to be nice and practical, and hopefully we'll get you outside, which will be fantastic. So we always start with a little Explorify starter, don't we? So our Explorify starter today is odd one out. And because we're looking at birds, I've chosen these three birds, and they are nesting. Okay, so take a look at what they're sat in. Take a look at their nests. I want you to see if you can think which one would the odd one out be. Now remember, with this, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just what you believe. And you've got to be able to explain to me why you think that one is the odd one out. Okay, so have a look at those three pictures closely. Zoom in. Have a little look. Which one do you think is the odd one out? Pause the video here. Have a little chat with the person at home, and then I'll share with you my idea. Okay, so my idea, team, I think that this one is the odd one out for me, because we can see this is a beautiful bird. Who knows what bird that is? It's a swan, absolutely. So it's a beautiful swan, and it's the only one that I can see that is on water. Okay, so that's what I think this one might be the odd one out, because it's sat on water and it's made its nest on the water, and you can see some of its little baby swans or cygnets. And then we have got this one, which is up a tree, and I can tell that because of the branches. And then this one is up a tree as well. But you might have decided on a different one. What do you think? Tell me now. Okay, brilliant ideas, team. Okay, I think that's got us in the science mindset. I think we are ready to take part in some beautiful science today. So today we're going to be looking at birds, and we're going to be looking at reptiles. Okay, hopefully you've heard those words before. If not, don't panic. So the very first thing that I'd like to do is, on a scrap piece of paper, okay, we don't need to keep this, so don't worry. I just want you to draw what you think a bird looks like and draw what you think a reptile looks like. Because remember, we're looking at birds and we're looking at reptiles today. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes, pause the video, just a quick sketch. What do you think a bird looks like? What key features do you think birds have? And then draw a reptile for me. What do you think it is? A reptile's a little bit trickier, isn't it? Have a little think. What do you think a reptile has on its body? What key features? 2 minutes, pause the video and give it a go. Okay, excellent drawings, team. And I'm sure lots of you will have picked up on the lovely key features of birds and the key features of reptiles. Now, you may not know about these animals, so you're going to learn lots today, my friends. Okay, so we're going to start looking at what a bird looks like, what a reptile looks like, what kind of key features they have, what characteristics they have, and we'll see if your pictures are close. So I've got a bird and I've got a reptile. Okay, which one is which? Yeah, absolutely right. So this is a bird, isn't it? Anyone know the name of that bird? Good, it's a robin. Okay, and this is a snake. Okay, and a snake is a type of reptile. So the question there, our lovely squirrel is asking us, is what is similar and what is different about these two animals? So have a look at them closely, what is similar about them and what is different about them? And for the similar, you can't say they're both on grass. That does not make them similar. Okay, look at the actual animals. What makes them similar? What makes them different? So similar are things that might be the same. Different are things that are not the same. Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a struggle to think of things that are similar, aren't they? I'm looking and I can think, well, the snake has two eyes and the bird has two eyes. But then I'm struggling. There's lots of differences, aren't there? Yeah, the bird has got feathers. The snake doesn't have feathers. The snake has scales. The bird doesn't. Okay, the bird has legs. The snake doesn't. The bird has wings. The snake doesn't. Okay, there's lots and lots of different things. Another similarity might be that they're both beautiful colours, aren't they? They've got lovely patterns. We've got the robin, who's got a lovely red kind of chest and a bit of his face, or her face. And then we've got the snake, who's got this lovely kind of pattern all the way down it. Let's have a look what we came up with. So this is a robin, it is a bird. And this is a type of snake called an adder. It is a reptile. Okay, let's have a look at what similarities and differences there might be. So we're going to home in on birds first. So a bird has feathers, it's got wings and a beak. They are warm-blooded and lay eggs. Most birds can fly. That's interesting, isn't it? Because not all birds can fly. Did you know that? Does anybody know a bird that can't fly? Oh, I know a bird that can't fly. A penguin. They can't fly. Okay. So birds are vertebrates. Ooh, that's that key word again. Can you remember what that means? Absolutely. It says it right there, doesn't it? It says this means they have backbones. Okay, so just like us, they have got backbones. Now, they're not the same as ours because that robin is teeny weeny compared to us. But what it means is it does have its own structure of the backbone, okay, that helps it when it's flying. It helps it to stand up. It helps it to not flop over. Okay, that would be a bit crazy if all our birds were floppy. Okay, what features are similar to that of mammals? Well, we've said they both have vertebrates. There's another similarity there, isn't there? They're warm-blooded. Okay, absolutely. So these birds are warm-blooded. We are warm-blooded. That doesn't mean that we're a bird. Okay, I wish I could fly. Okay, and then there's another question there. Do you know any more birds? So we've got a lovely swan there, and its baby cygnets, and we've got a robin there. Do you know any more types of birds? Okay, fantastic. Now let's learn about our reptiles, and then we can look at the similarities and the differences. So here we have some examples of a reptile. Okay, a reptile has dry, scaly skin. When you look at a snake, or when you look at a kind of lizard or a reptile, you might think, oh, that looks quite slimy. But they're actually not slimy. They are dry. They are cold-blooded vertebrates. That's that word again. So they have got a vertebrate as well. They've got a backbone. But it's going to be a little bit different in a snake, isn't it? Because their backbone can wiggle and move. Excellent. Most reptiles lay eggs. Reptiles can be snakes, lizards, crocodiles, turtles, or tortoises. Goodness me. So there's lots of animals. They can be big. Some crocodiles can be huge, can't they? And they can be small. Okay, some turtles can be quite tiny, can't they? And some of those lizards can be really small. Do you guys know of any more reptiles? Have you ever seen one in real life? Maybe you've been to the zoo. Maybe you've got one. I've heard some talk in year one that some people have got these as pets. Okay, so now we've had a description of a bird and what those characteristics are. We've had a description of a reptile and what those characteristics are. Can you spot any similarities? Can you remember any characteristics that birds and lizards share? Let's go back and have a little sneaky peek. So we've got birds have feathers, wings, and a beak. Is that the same? I don't think so. They're warm-blooded and lay eggs. Most birds can fly. Birds are vertebrates. This means they have backbones. Let's see about reptiles. Reptiles, dry, scaly skin. They're cold-blooded. Okay, so that's not the same. Vertebrates, that's that same word again, though. They lay eggs. Ooh. Reptiles can be snakes, lizards, crocodiles, turtles, or tortoises. There are a couple of things there that are the same. What two things are the same? Excellent. So they both have vertebrates. They both have vertebrates, and most of them lay eggs. Okay, most birds lay eggs. Most reptiles lay eggs. So there's some similarities there between our two groups of animals. What about any differences? I think the differences are a bit more obvious, aren't they? Excellent. So birds are cold-blooded. Reptiles are warm-blooded. Oh no, I've got that around the wrong way. Birds are warm-blooded like us, aren't they? Silly me. Birds are warm-blooded. Reptiles are cold-blooded. Okay. Reptiles are cold-blooded. Do apologise. And birds can fly, reptiles cannot. What other characteristics have we got? We've got things like feathers. Do reptiles have feathers? No. Do reptiles have wings? No. Do reptiles have beaks? No. So there's lots and lots of differences. Okay. So we're going to play a game now, and what I want you to do is I want you to guess if the animal we describe are birds or reptiles. Okay. So think about this. It lays eggs. Okay, so it could be both. It is warm-blooded. So think which one is warm-blooded, just like us. It likes to eat insects and worms, and it has feathers. Is it a bird or is it a reptile? Excellent, team. It's a bird. It was a blackbird. Okay. It has dry, scaly skin. It is cold-blooded. Apologies for my mistake earlier. Birds, warm-blooded. Reptiles, cold-blooded. It lives near water and eats frogs and toads. It lays eggs. Absolutely right, it's a reptile. And this is a grass snake. Now, we do have some grass snakes in our country, but they're not to be scared of. It's okay. You don't really see them very much because they don't like to be around people. Right, last one. Is this a bird or a reptile? It has dry, scaly skin. It is cold-blooded. It likes to hide under things. It eats slugs and worms. You're absolutely right. It is a reptile. And this reptile might look like a snake, but it's a limbless lizard. That means it's a lizard that hasn't got any legs or arms, called a slow worm. Crazy, isn't it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this YouTube link in the description. This is a fantastic video that you can watch about our classification of animals. Okay, so I'll pop it in the description and you'll be able to watch this video. It'll be down below underneath this video. Enjoy. Once you've had a little watch of that video, team, we're going to move on to this. And we're going to do a little sorting first, and then I've got a lovely activity that involves you getting outside. So let's read our fact sheet. Birds and reptiles. Birds have feathers, wings, and a beak. Most birds can fly. Birds and most reptiles lay eggs. That's a similarity. A reptile can be a snake, a lizard, a crocodile, a turtle, or a tortoise. Birds and reptiles are vertebrates. That's all about the backbone. They have backbone. That's another similarity. Reptiles have dry, scaly skin. So I've got 4 animals here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I want you to decide at home is which way am I going to drag it? Am I going to drag it into the bird section? Am I going to drag it into the reptile section? And can you tell me why? Pause the video now and have a little chat with the person at home. What do you think and why? Okay, excellent work, team. Let's get dragging. So this very first one, we can see it's kind of wriggly. It looks dry and scaly. What is it? It's a reptile. This next one. Perfect. It's got feathers. It's got a beak. It will be warm-blooded. Okay. That is a bird. Then we've got this one. Okay, it's very, very small, isn't it? What I can see it is a kind of lizard, and it says here a reptile can be a lizard. So I think that must be a reptile. And last but not least, this one we know is a bird. Hopefully you got on very well with sorting those 4 creatures into birds and reptiles. So your activity today is to get outside and go bird watching. I'm going to put another link in the description down below. And this link is to the RSPB. Okay, it's the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds. And it is a family wild challenge. And it's a challenge that you guys can access at home. It says some of the things you might need here. There's an activity sheet that you'll be able to find on this website. And here is a little snapshot of it. And it says, how many of these birds can you see around where you live? So it's asking you to go for a walk. It's asking you to get outside. It's asking you to go and try and find some of these lovely birds. Now, you might not do that today on Friday, but that's okay. You could do it over the weekend. You could do it another day. Okay, it's totally up to you. There's an online bird identifier that you can look at. There's helpful links to some binoculars. There's elephant ears, which is a step-by-step guide below, and all will be explained because it sounds a little bit crazy. And you could need a camera or pen and paper. Okay, it's totally up to you, but follow the link and have a go at looking for some of the wildlife in your area. Just to end our lesson then, before you go on your lovely walk, we're going to do a little plenary. It's called 2 Truths and a Lie. So I want you to spot the false statement, the one that is not true. Okay, birds have feathers. Birds lay eggs, birds have arms. Which one is going to get a big red cross through it? Which one is wrong? Birds have feathers, birds lay eggs, birds have arms. Absolutely, they do not have arms, do they? So I'm crossing that one out. Let's have a look at the reptile then. Reptiles have dry, scaly skin. All reptiles have legs. Reptiles have a backbone. Which one is not true? Excellent. So the lie is all reptiles have legs. Not all of them have legs. You can see in this picture here, this is a snake. It doesn't have any legs. Okay, I hope you enjoy getting outside and looking for some lovely birds in your local area. Have a fantastic time.